My question for you, Greg, is to talk about new standards by FM that might preclude the use of some radios in these types of hazardous environments. Where does that stand now?
Sure. And this is a relatively new issue, actually. In fact, the first time I think we heard of this was a year ago at ENTELEC here in Houston, when we were approached by some equipment manufacturers about this. But basically, what's been going on is and it's started long before last year. There's been a change in the underlying standards and then the approval standards for intrinsically safe radios, specifically for use in Class 1, Division 1 classified areas. What the effect would be to map the approval standard for Class 1 Div 1 radios to the approval standard for Class 1 Zone 0 equipment. So effectively requiring it to meet the standards for radios that would operate, or devices that would operate inside, say, tanks, actually containing an explosive gas or explosive liquid, places where intrinsically safe, at least push-to-talk radios are unlikely to go. That was expected to take effect at the end of this year, the 1st of 2012, and there isn't any equipment out there that would meet the new standard. So you could continue to use equipment that was already in the field, but eventually the batteries and those would run down. The batteries would have to be certified to the new standard, and that couldn't be done either. And so in a couple of years, you would be out of Class 1 Division 1 equipment and have to move over to equipment that meets the new standard, which, a couple of big impacts from the new standard, it would severely cut power down to a watt or less, and then there would be some other changes to the design of radios that would increase the form factor. We would go from having little radios to big brick type radios, and so that met with a lot of opposition, as you can imagine, from this industry, the oil and gas industry, also public safety, the equipment manufacturers themselves, who felt they were caught a little off guard by this. But there's been a pretty strong effort last year to get something in place to resolve this. And currently, there's three essentially deviations from the current standard that are in the works from three different entities. FM Approvals is actually under one of those, ISA another one, and then TIA, which is made up of the major land mobile radio vendors, is doing another one. And in the meantime, FM Approvals has pushed back its implementation date for the new approval standard until 2016 to give these groups some time to work through their standards. So all that standard development just started taking place actually within the last month or two. There's still quite a ways to go on this. I mean, it's not one that's out of the woods yet, but it's in the works, and hopefully there's enough time to work something out and get these three different groups working together. There's a way to see